Morning everybody, welcome to the shores of Lake Malawi. My name is Martin Hobbs. This is my story and this is my challenge. Approximately 6 years ago I went under the knife for spinal fusion, and I've always been an endurance athlete and I wanted to continue. So I then had to look for a different sport that I could do without making my back any worse, and the only obvious choice was swimming. So I hit the pool and was doing day after day, lap after lap after lap, and it's kind of mind-numbing just getting in the pool every day and just hitting the laps. And then one day somebody said to me, well Martin, have you ever thought about doing open water swimming? Gives you a bit of a goal and a bit of motivation to hit the pool every day. So I did that, and with mind of taking part in the mid-mile, and I did my first one approximately 5 years ago, and then year after year that just grew, and the year after that I did another one, the year after that I did 2, then 4, and then this year I took part in the 8 mile. And I knew everybody was wondering in the back of their mind, what's my next challenge going to be, and that's what's brought me here. My next challenge is Lake Malawi. I'm going to be starting at the north of Lake Malawi and then swimming all the way down to the south, which is exactly 581 kilometers. Planning to do this in the month of February until the end of March, 45 days, 15 kilometers per day. And it's going to be a hell of a challenge and experience, and there's obviously lots of things that we're going to be exposed to and we're going to have to contend with. Firstly, the month of February is extremely hot. We'll see temperatures excess of 45 degrees. There's the indefinite bilharzia that I am going to pick up. I've spoken to the locals and they said there's no ways you can avoid it. Just going to have to treat yourself. Next is malaria, 45 days of living alongside the shore. There's a very possible chance that I'm going to pick it up. Then there's the creatures that are living in this waters. The hippos and the crocs, they're definitely there. We've spoken to the locals, we've seen them ourselves. The other day we head down about 2 kilometers from here down the water. We were driving along and we bumped into 2 hippos right next to the boat. They greeted us, and then further up we met some locals where we saw some cows in the water drinking water, and one of the locals there who were looking after the cattle told us that the week before they lost one of their cows to the crocs. So they're definitely out there and I want to avoid them as much as I can. So that's obviously the creatures that I got to contend with. There's obviously then the natural obstacle, which is the swells and the currents. And before coming up here I read up a lot about what I'm in for, and I noticed that it was or read about 3 meter, 5 meter 3 foot swells rather, that I would be contending with. But once I got here and I started speaking to the locals, they were talking about this marathon sailing race that they do from north to south, pretty much what I'm going to be doing. And they were talking of 5 meters to 7 meter swells, which are insane. So big that at times the waves, the swells were taller than the masts of the boat. So that's pretty radical, and it's gonna be a continuous effort to beat these swells and the currents, and to try and find an open gap and to utilize it when it's as calm as possible. So Lake Malawi is the 3rd largest lake in Africa, the 9th largest lake in the world, and it was actually the largest piece of open water that I could find in one straight line, being 581 kilometers, that I could find anywhere. So that's why I chose it, and that's why I'm going to take it on, starting, as I said, roughly in the middle of February, ending the end of March. So why do I want to do this swimming Lake Malawi? Well, why not? It's never been done before. This will be a first ever, so it's a world record. There's been a few people that have swam the width of Lake Malawi. Lake Malawi varies from 25 to maximum of 80 kilometers. There have been a few that have done the 25-kilometer stretch. So this is a first, this is a challenge. I can leave a legacy behind. The people can remember that crazy guy, Martin, who swam Lake Malawi. And yeah, that's why I want to do it. And I hope you'll be joining me on this challenge and this adventure, following me day by day, seeing how I'm doing and I'm progressing and living this adventure with me. Thank you very much for listening.